Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your Tarotscope for the month of May 2020. I see good energy, very strong in the beginning of the month, a slight shift as we get towards the end of the month, as you progress forward, but still on the positive end. So overall, there's good energy for the month of May for you. So let's begin with the Three of Cups. There's a sense of togetherness, and it feels very family oriented. Now, I know some of you that family might be defined not so much by blood, but by but by people that you know, that you feel strongly about, who have been there and have been supportive, and that applies too. So who you perceive to be family, this is who it's applying to. But there's this coming out of support that you're going to be getting in the beginning of the month of May, that I don't want to say that you didn't necessarily feel before, but you're going to come to a point where you recognize was always there to some degree, even though you didn't feel it right away. At any rate, there's a surge of having a sense of, oh, I am supported. I keep forgetting that this support exists for me. So it's a bit of a reminder, and with that reminder comes this kind of rush of actual energy that really sort of takes over and fills you on a personal level, that you've been kind of longing for, but feeling like you've been lacking. So you're going to come to a head with this, and you're going to realize that support is there. And sometimes how we define support, not to throw it to that whole concept of love language, but let's just apply that, because I feel like a lot of people recognize or understands that narrative. Support language can mean certain different things for different people. And so in this sense, how you perceive you should be getting support sometimes may actually block your ability to see how you are actually getting support. So hopefully that makes sense. And obviously that's not going to be 100% across the board. These readings are always general. So I'm taking in a very generalized, very full amount of energy for Sagittarius across the board. But I do feel that this is some variation of this description of support is how you've been feeling, and the shift that's going to occur for quite many of you. And because of that, there's going to be this overall sense of stability that you didn't have before. Now, it doesn't mean that suddenly all manners of insecurity that you've had on a personal level, and that could be economic, that can be emotional, that can be, individual, that can be psychological, it doesn't matter. Whatever issues you had been having that you felt was creating a very sort of bumpy foundation and not having that stability that you desired, and you felt that if you just had, you could feel like you were safer and feel stronger as an individual. When you recognize the support that you already have, from that you're going to automatically shift into, oh, I actually do have a stronger personal foundation than I previously recognized. I do have a basis onto which I can build, and therefore I can now celebrate the things in my life and count those blessings. They always tell you when times are rough and what have you, you should just count your blessings. And I get the concept behind that. You don't want to, which is basically, you don't want to focus on the negative, because you can create a cloud of darkness that shrouds out the sunlight, and you want to shift your focus so that it doesn't shine out the sunlight of the good things. But sometimes we, as a group, as a mass, as a population, whatever, how you want to say that, we will very flippantly say that, well, count your blessings. And it's almost like there's this thing that you should just not recognize reality, and just count your blessings. And there's almost a false sense of happiness that can arise from that. So I'm not saying you shouldn't count your blessings, but they have to be productive moments of counting blessings, not moments of dismissing the issues at hand. So this shift in energy that you're going to experience is going to not only flood you with this love and support that you have around you, but with that, you can recognize your own personal, individual foundation that you already have within yourself. And because of that feeling of being more secure, and it has to do with that root chakra, so because you are now on a very individual level, feel like you are secure within yourself, you can count your blessings, and that can actually feel more genuine than just trying to force yourself to count your blessings, because that's what everybody says you should do to make yourself feel better. I hope that makes sense. I'm not ragging on the concept of counting your blessings, but sometimes we can kind of steer clear of counting our blessings and get to a point where it's not as genuine or it's not as effective. And so we want to always make sure that we are operating effectively. Sometimes it's okay to look at our shadows and see them for what they are. And sometimes it's okay to look at our blessings and have those help us get out of those dark moments. But we have to always come from a position of genuineness if we really want to have it help us, versus create a false sense of narrative regarding the current reality and what it may take to get out of that. So I really hope that makes sense. As you progress, when you start to see, oh my God, I really am a stronger person than I'm giving myself credit for. Life might not be perfect. The people who are outside of me may look in and be able to have these sorts of judgments, but they don't know me. They don't know how much I've been through, what I've experienced. They don't see, but I now can see, because of the support and love I recognize that I have this foundation within myself. And because of that, I am secure in these elements of myself. And from that, you'll have moments with the Hanged Man, which is basically really taking on a whole new perspective of who you are and what you have to offer to yourself. There really is a whole overarching theme of really serving yourself during this month, along with leveling up. This seems to be something I'm seeing with all of the fire signs for the month of May. Self-love, self-growth, and leveling up that's going to occur for the month of May. And we have Wise Owl here. Inner wisdom and foresight. Again, really tapping into that. You are as strong as you think you are. You already have all the strengths that you wish you had other people offering to you within yourself. It's already available within yourself. And you're going to experience a moment throughout the month. And it's going to build up where you're going to recognize that you have external support, and you also have personal power deep within yourself that creates a foundation that will allow you to see things from a perspective that will create space for you to grow. So you have good energy that you can work with in the month of May, and I hope you get the opportunity to do so throughout the entire month. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you have a fabulous May and it keeps you well and in good spirits, and hopefully I will see you in the next month.